If you're thinking about making a move to Wichita, Kansas in 2026, and you're already looking at homes online, you're starting in the wrong place. This mistake is exactly why so many relocations feel rushed, stressful, and expensive. We're going to show you how to get it done the right way. You don't even have to be ready right this second, ready to go to get started. It all starts with setting that solid foundation. Before you get into the beds, the baths, the fine detail, it all starts with that solid foundation. Have a rough idea of your time frame, of your budget. What is that motivating factor? This is your why. Other than the obvious, you need a place to lay your head. Are you relocating here for a job? Maybe school for you, maybe the kiddos. To be closer to family. Maybe a fresh start. What is it? Figure it out. Sit down with that loved one, that significant other, that family member, that trusted friend. Start working on the rough draft now. Set your foundation. This is ultimately gonna put you in that best position moving forward. It all starts here. Here's what most people get wrong about relocating to Wichita, and it has nothing to do with price or interest rates. Folks don't realize how involved this process is, especially if Wichita or one of the surrounding areas is brand new to you. There's a lot involved here, and with you being far away, there's additional layers that a lot of people don't realize until they hop into it. So now you need to further prepare. You need to make sure you've got that game plan, got the rough draft, people in your corner that are ultimately going to help you get where you want to be. And it doesn't happen in a day. It takes careful planning, preparing, and drafting that game plan. A lot of folks, they jump straight in and they're riding by the seat of their pants. We find if you have the tools, you have the knowledge, you are informed, you are empowered, it's going to make it a much easier transition for you and yours. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, this is your baby. You can pick whoever you want, but this is how we do it. This is how we get it done. We need to make sure you have the information and the tools to be successful. A lot of stuff here, a lot of moving parts, and we want to make sure you're set up for success. Listen, if you skip this part and jump straight into house hunting, you lose leverage before you even realize it. Everybody's situation is different. Maybe you have kids. Maybe you're planning to have kids. Maybe you don't have kids. What does crime and safety look like? Is that important? What's the commute look like? These are all things you need to be thinking about. And quite frankly, a lot of folks out here don't know these tools even exist. And that's just one reason why you need to be reaching out, call, text, email, DM, all that stuff when the time comes. We're sharing these tools with you. If schools are important, niche.com. greatschools.org. These tools here, you're getting feedback from students, from parents of students, from teachers who sign up for this stuff. If you want to just go at it surface level, hey, you can do that. If you want to get into the nitty gritty, jump into the weeds, a little more information, you've got that too. And then greatschools.org, yet another resource. Compare, contrast, feedback from the websites. If schools are important, you need these tools in your pocket. We get into crime, we get into safety. LexisNexis Community Crime Map. You want to light the map up like a Christmas tree? Go ahead. You want to see what it looks like, and these three tools here are all nationwide. So before you start throwing those stones, check your own backyard. But you can get in there. They break down zip codes. They'll show you where the schools are at. If you want to look at the various filters for the incidents, the events, the crimes, you can. They've got the offenders list on there as well. So these are all very important tools because at the end of the day, only you are going to know what ultimately works for you and yours. So don't sleep on these tools. Use them. And then we get into a statewide tool, CanDrive. This is going to show you what the traffic's looking like around town. This is going to show you traffic cam footage with the date stamps, with the time codes. So you can get an idea. You can start piecing together what a commute could potentially look like, what a Sunday afternoon drive looks like on Kellogg or along 135, what the holiday driving looks like for that matter. All great tools. You gotta use them. This is part of your homework, setting the foundation. These tools here are taking the foundation, fine-tuning the plan so you can zone in on that 1, 2, or 3 areas, whether it's in Wichita or one of the surrounding areas. Bookmark these pages because you're going to need them. Folks don't realize how involved this process is, especially if Wichita or one of the surrounding areas is brand new to you. There's a lot involved here, and with you being far away, there's additional layers that a lot of people don't realize until they hop into it. You need to make sure you've got that game plan, you've got the rough draft, and you've got the people in your corner that are ultimately going to help you get where you want to be. It takes careful planning, preparing, and drafting that game plan. A lot of folks, they jump straight in and they're riding by the seat of their pants. We find if you have the tools, you have the knowledge, you are informed, you are empowered, it's going to make it a much easier transition for you and yours. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, this is your baby. You can pick whoever you want, but this is how we do it. This is how we get it done. A lot of stuff here, a lot of moving parts, and we want to make sure you're set up for success. Information isn't the problem. The problem is not having a plan to organize it. Remember I mentioned setting your foundation, figuring all that out? I've got a handy dandy little ebook for you here. Click, download, consume, you're welcome. That's my Homebuyer's rough draft. Set the foundation, all that's where this comes from. Finding out the motivating factor, finding out a rough idea of budget, of time frame. And listen, you don't have to be ready right now, next month, or 3 months from now. It all starts here. It's all subject to change, and that's okay. Get in there, don't freak out, but start setting the foundation. Figure this stuff out. Getting into fine-tuning what exactly you're needing. The beds, the baths. If you're needing more space, if that's in the house, or that's a larger lot. It's gonna vary from person to person. What does your current situation look like? Are you renting? Do you own? Do you have a lease? Do you need to sell the current home to get into the next home? And outlining with the roadmap what the process looks like in the most general sense. If this is your first time, or maybe it's there. The worksheet's in there. Fill that baby out. These are the exact questions I would be asking you if we had that call. Some kind of for your consideration items. These are things that are very common questions with folks. We do a lot of relocation. We work with a lot of first-time home buyers. Hey, it's more than just the purchase price. Outlining what you're gonna have to pay for at closing, what you're gonna have to pay for once you go under track, so you can budget accordingly and you're not blindsided. What those next steps look like. The console, getting pre-approved, getting your proof of funds if you're paying cash for. I've got the link down below, QR code, whatever you need. You don't have to sign up. This is where you start. This is where you set the foundation. This with the other tool, LexisNexis, niche.com, greatschools.com, CanDrive, all of these tools are what you need to do your home. And don't wait. Start getting this rough draft together. Start setting the foundation now, whether that's 30 days from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now. That's why you need to be using these tools, because only you are going to know what works for you, for yours. We can't steer you one way or another. That's why we're giving you, so you can figure out what you need. From here, you're setting the foundation. We take that rough draft and we craft that fine-tuned game so you have time. And even on a fundamental level, while you're waiting, little thing, think about your current living. Maybe you want a bigger, maybe you're tired of waiting on that significant other hogging the bathroom. Realistic thing, you're gonna start crafting that list of needs, of wants, but you gotta be prepared with the tool, having done the homework. And when the time comes to make the move, you're gonna be ahead of 85% of the people out, and that's what makes the difference. Moving to Wichita is on your radar for 2026. Don't wait until you have to make decisions. Prepared sooner means informed earlier, and informed buyers have better experiences. And whether you end up working with me or someone else, that's the advantage I want you to have. Preparation creates options. Waiting creates pressures. You want to continue that learning journey? Click this little video over here. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit my little logo over there. We'll catch y'all back here in the next one.